Okay, as you can see, I have my my rebuilt caliper, $40 at VIP, and you know, I did shop around online and I found one for $26 at Rock Auto, but then by the time you ship it and pay the core fee and wait for it to come in, $40 was right in the ballpark. I mean, that was tax and all. It had all the hardware, these copper washers, and the tins I showed you yesterday that were all rusted. So I always like to make sure that there's smooth movement and that these boots are all on and in good shape and everything, and this one's obviously much better than the one we looked at yesterday. You can see, I don't know if you can see that movement or not, but these are not seized at all. So let me get the brake pads and I'll show you how to pop those in real quick. Okay, I have the brake pads here, but I wanted to show you these tins here real quick. One you've got right here, and I don't know if you can see those clips or not, but these clips need to come up and they kind of hold it in there. This provides tension. I don't know if you can see the springiness of it, but down on the top of the pads. Then you've got one on each side of the mounting bracket as well. Let's see if we can pop that out. That the pads actually slide into. So let's pop that back in real quick. You can hear it snap in. There's little tabs. So what I usually do, because there is some springiness, is I'll pop one side in just a little bit. When these are used, they can be a pain sometimes. You don't want to put it in all the way on one side. Just get one side started, and you may have to push a little bit of down pressure or pressure towards the caliper because of the springiness on this one here I showed you earlier, and then just get these ears in on the brake pad itself. Now on this particular one, both brake pads are the same, so that one's in. See if we can get the other. Hope if I do it correct. Okay, again, I put one side in. I line up the other side and I kind of push it down and put it in together at the same time. And again, this piston's already compressed, so there's plenty of, especially on that disc. I really need to replace these rotors, but they were $35 a piece. I'm not going to just do one, so that'll have to be another day. But they're not too bad. I've seen worse. So there we go. I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to go over and see if we can get this being mounted, and then I'll, you know, there's not much to hooking up the brake line. I didn't show you how to unhook it yesterday, but you've got these copper washers. It's kind of important. You want to make sure you get the old ones off, and you don't want to get any debris in there. So I'm going to leave that plug in, and while I mount the caliper, and I'll show you how to see if we can capture hooking up the brake line. It's pretty straightforward. We're just going to go with the reverse of what we did yesterday. I'm going to slide that down gently over the disc, try to line up the holes. I'm not going to do the brake line until after, that way I won't have to can use any socket I want. I like to get one started, thread it in a little bit, and then you've got a pivot point for the other. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not. Basically, get it in there, and you can pivot the caliper a little bit till you can feel that drop into the hole, and then thread it in. Okay, I'll get my ratchet and tighten that up. I'm going to tighten that up. Good. I don't know the foot-pounds of torque. You can probably Google that. That's it. Drop this plug out. Okay, so what you want to do is clean that off as best you can. These are, these copper washers actually make a seal. When you tighten them down, they kind of flatten out and seal that. So you could put one on the bolt. That's going to go like that. The bolt has to go this way. I'm going to drop this on here like this. And again, it even says in the instructions, be careful not to cross thread it, but you can see that's not cross threaded. And don't over tighten it. Obviously you don't want it to leak, so when we get to bleeding it, if we see a leak, I'll just put a little more pressure on it. Again, so these were 15 millimeter, this is a 13 millimeter. And I'm going to have to use a wrench for that because I'm putting it on after the fact. Again, you don't want to over tighten. You can always tighten it down a little more if you find that it's leaking. If you over tighten the first time and strip it out or break the bolt, or actually you'd end up stripping this out because it's not that hard, you've got a larger problem. Okay, apparently my trusty assistant is busy playing PlayStation 3, so he's not going to be able to come out and help me. I really don't want to get the camera, any brake fluid on the camera, because it's pretty corrosive. So, you know, basically the way I do it is, as I'm going to add fluid, I'm going to have my trusty assistant pump the brakes and hold the brakes in. I've got a 10 millimeter on the bleeder valve here, you know. If you have a hose, you can put it on there. I may take a quick look and see if I've got one, so it ends up in a catch pan. I've got a frying pan under there anyways from yesterday. And basically what you do is have them pump the brakes, hold it, release the valve, tighten it down, have the trusty assistant pump the brakes again, hold it, release it. Do that several times until you'll notice when there's a steady stream of brake fluid and there are no more air bubbles or you know, sputters. I guess you'll be able to tell when it's a steady stream. And then what I do is I work my way toward the front of the vehicle, going from the furthest line. I'll do the next one over there. I'll do the passenger side front, and then I'll do the driver side front. And you know, sometimes I've gotten away with just bleeding the one I've worked on. I guess what I'll do is I'll bleed them, or bleed this one, test it out, see if the brakes feel spongy. I mean, it's possible that we didn't lose much fluid. You can see that there's not much air in the lines. So, alright, hope this has been helpful, and leave comments and questions. Again, this is just like backyard mechanic style. When I do this rotor here, maybe I'll film it.